Hey guys, so today we're going to build a directory on our Shopify website. And so first off, what's a directory? Why would you want one? And when you watch this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video. Appreciate it. So what is a directory? Why would you want one? So this is our germinate.com website, and we build out Shopify sites. So one of the things that our customers are looking for is they're looking for suppliers to sell them products, whether it's on a dropship basis or a wholesale basis, or they're looking for resources, how do they do their email marketing, things like that. So we put links to companies out there. So let's take a quick look at that. So for example, in resources, we would be Constant Contact, Shopify, etc. So let's go in there, and you can see it's built out nice and clean. It's got a logo, some descriptive content, and a link to their website, and the potential to get reviews put in here. And I've also put some information about Germinate on the bottom here. Why? Because obviously we want to come up in search engines, so we want to come up under things that people search a lot for. Constant Contact is something that people are going to be searching a lot for, email marketing, so it's good content, SEO for search engine traffic. Also, if you build out these directories, right, and Constant Contact are not going to give us a link back, but in the example that we're going to do today, I would be contacting the people in my directory and saying, hey, how about giving us a link back to our website because we've given you one. So that's good for SEO as well, so long as those links are of good quality. You don't want bad websites linking to you. You want good websites linking to you. Google analyzes that data. So we're going to do this on our Just Green Beans sample website. And Just Green Beans sells raw green beans that have to be roasted. A typical customer would be a coffee shop. So great example for this would be to do a coffee shop listing, customer listing, basically. Where can you taste our coffee beans? Well, you can go to these cafes. So that's what we're going to do today. In your case, you're going to have to think about, well, what information would be both useful to my customers that would help them? Is it resources of some sort? Is it links to vendors that I sell to? What's going to be useful for them? Is that if I put that information on my website, is it detrimental to me? Because you don't want to do that, and you don't want to be sending traffic to your competitors, basically, right? So you've got to find something that's both useful to your people who are visiting your website and hopefully not detrimental to you, provides a good content for your website, and even better if you can go to those people and say, hey, give me a link back because I've just written this thing about you and I'm putting it on my website. Okay, so let's do this. So we're going to go into our Just Green Beans. First thing that we need to understand, let's go here, is that what we're using here is the product object. So we've created, I think I've got 5 or 6 different businesses that I've put out here. They're actually businesses from my data's from my Germinate website. I imported it, so they're not coffee shops, but we're going to imagine that they're coffee shops for today. Okay, so let's have a quick look at one of these. So it's got a product title, it's got a description, it's got an image. Okay, at the moment it's on the product template. We're going to change that. It doesn't matter about pricing because we're not going to sell this product. It doesn't matter about inventory because we're not going to be selling this product. You'll notice that I've got a tag in each of these, and it says URL : and then it's the URL of this particular company, because we're going to put a link on our website to them. Why the URL : That'll make sense in a minute. Stick with me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a alternative product template. Okay, so let's take our product.liquid, which we would have found under our regular templates here, product.liquid. There we go, product.liquid. And we did this in a previous example for product.gifs. So it's the same basic concept. So if you haven't, take a look at one of those earlier videos where we did this. So let's just copy that. And let's go up to add new template. It's a product template, and we're going to call it cafes. Create template. That template, we want to just paste in what we just copied. It's pretty much the same as what was already there anyway. Change the instructions to include the section called product template cafes, and you can change the instructions here, which is just a comment so that people know where to look. Okay, save. Let's go down and find product in the sections. You want the product template in order to, and I've already opened it here. So let's just copy it all. And then let's create a new section. And we want to call this product template cafes create section. And we want to paste in all that stuff that we just copied. Save. Okay, so now we've created an alternative set of templates, so a product cafes template, and we've told it to include all of this product template cafes code. Okay, so let's just go back and have a look at our products here. Let's just go back and take a quick look at this. There's only 6 of them. I'm going to have to go through the 6 of these and just change this to cafes. It's going to take me a minute. And what I'm basically doing now is I'm saying, don't look at don't load the product template, load the new one that I just did, product.cafes. Okay, whoops, come back. That's 2. I think I've got 6 of these. This is number 3, product cafes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Product cafes, save. 2 more. Bear with me a minute. Once we've done this, we'll take a quick look at it. And it shouldn't make any difference at this point because we've just done straightforward copies of the product template. So the product.cafes at the moment, it should be exactly the same as the product template itself. Okay, but we're going to change that in a minute. We're going to go in and edit it. Okay, save. Great. So let's just have a quick look at this one now and load it up. And it should look exactly the same as it would if it was a product. Okay, so it's got the description, it's got the price, and we don't have a price, so it's marked as free. Add to carts. Remember, we built this into the template, and it would have producer information here if we'd set the vendor up, but because we didn't set the vendor up to match a collection title, that's not going to be there. And that again is in a previous video that we did. Okay, so let's go in now and start editing this product template cafe. So let's start by cleaning it up. Right, we do not want any of that shipping table data. So let's find that. There you go. We don't want any of this shipping table data. That's not necessary for this because we're not selling the product. Okay, we don't want any of this meet the producer stuff. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And then we don't want the product form. We don't want to know. We don't want to be able to buy it, right? So I can get rid of this completely. Save. We also don't want the price going up the top. So let's go and take a quick look at that. We could probably set that in the through the theme setup. If I can find it here quick enough, we'll set it that way. If I can't find it quickly enough, then we'll just do it in the, we'll just take the price off, but let's have a look. It's got to be here somewhere, right? If product available, this is banners, set the vendor, the SKU code, the product title. We know it's below the product title, right? So you got some tags, which we obviously don't have turned on. We've got some pricing stuff here going on. I think I can probably just remove all of this because we don't want any of that pricing information. So let's just clean it up and take that all away. Okay, now let's just refresh that and see what we've got. Okay, that's not right. Let's get rid of that. Start that again. F5. Okay, that's looking better, right? We've got the logo, we've got the title, we removed the price, we've still got the description, we've got a couple of HR lines here. What we don't have is a link to this company's website. So let's add that link in. I've got the code already, and I'll explain the code in a minute. We're just gonna, let's do it first and then we'll explain it. So find out where we want that code to go. We want it below the description. Want it below the product description. Social, we want it above the social buttons. Let's just do a quick test here and see where that is. I think that's the right spot for us, but let's just test it because it was below one of the HRs. So I want it to be in the middle there. That's perfect. Okay, so now let's paste in that code that I've just done. Let's save that and just have a look at it before we explain it. There you go. Visit the website of this company. It butts down onto this line a little bit. There's a button there that will take us over to that page. Okay, so let's explain this a little bit. Let's just put a BR in, a couple of BRs in there just to give us a break, bit of space. Let's just save that. See what that looks like. I want to just get rid of that, push that line down a little bit. Perfect. Okay, let's explain this now. Let's have a look at this code. So what we've done on this code is we've said go through the tags. So for tag in product.tags. Product.tags is a Shopify array that comes by default, and it's basically all the tags that are in that product. So it's taking each tag one at a time in that product array of tags. So if there's more than one tag, it's going to go through them all. If the tag contains URL, okay, then put the message, visit the website of this company with a line break, BR line break, and create this link. This is standard HTML and a link, href equals, and then the tag with the URL removed off the front of it, or it's on the front of it in this case, but you basically just remove the URL colon part of it, target it to a blank so it opens up in a new screen. It's a button, action button, and then put the product title in as the text for that link. Okay, so the fact that it's a class of a button in this particular theme is going to create you with a button. You know, if you're not using this particular theme, which is Turbo by Out of the Sandbox, this button concept might not work. But if you just strip out this class, you'll just have a straightforward link. Okay, I'm going to, in the YouTube video description, I'll put a link to a blog article on our website that includes this little bit of code, but it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's have that works. We know that works. Perfect. So how are we going to, we need to put them all into a collection. So let's do that. Let's go off to, we want to make a collection here. So we want to create a new collection, and we want to call this cafes. And basically the product tag contains URL will work perfectly well for us. Okay, so if it starts with, well, let's just put in here URL colon. Well, it won't let me go to contains. I don't know why. Okay, well, let's just call it product tag is equal to, I don't know why it won't let me go to contains, but product tag is equal to cafe. Okay, save. Now we know that that's not going to have anything in it because we don't have anything tagged. So let's go back to all of our products. Let's bring up the 6 cafes or that we want to do and add the tag cafe. Apply changes. Let's go to our navigation now and build that into a menu. Let's put it into the top right. Add menu item. We want to go straight to the cafe collection here. And of course, you can create sub collections and whatever, have it more complicated than this. I'm just going to call it our cafes. Add, save. Now let's have a look at what that looks like. It's going to take a minute just to come through. There we go, our cafes. I'm going to click on that And here are, not very well laid out, but here are the cafes. Now, that works great. Love it. The only thing I don't like about it is that I've still got here like things like free on here because it's still using a standard collection template. But we can fix that. So let's fix that. Let's go to our collection template. We want to do a standard collection. We take the standard collection template, just like we did with the products. We're going to copy that. We're going to make a new template for collection, and we're going to call it cafe or cafes. Let's call it cafes. Create template. Okay, and then I'm going to make this, refer it to the collection template cafes. Save. Let's go down into the snippets and find the collection template here with all the code in it. Let's copy all of this. And then let's create a new section, and it's called collection template cafes. We'll create that section, and we're going to copy all of that code that we just pasted in, and we're going to click save. Let's go back to our collection here. Under products, collections. Now under this cafes, you'll find that this now appears. It didn't appear before, I don't think, because there was only one collection template. Or actually it would have appeared because there's a potential for sub-collections. But now we've got this collections cafes. Let's click save on that. So now when we click on here, we're loading up this new collection template called cafes. It's still going to basically look the same because we haven't edited it yet. So now we can go in it and we can start editing it to do what we want with this. And we can edit it in multiple ways. We can either edit it, get out of that one. We can either edit it in our template here. So if we want to basically find where it's putting that that price on the thing, it's going to be his title. We know that's the collection title. Sorry, it's probably going to go into a product loop, I imagine, somewhere down here. Haven't really looked at this to get this worked out for you, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to go to a product loop because this is still collection descriptions, paginate, basic pagination, product loop. There you go. So we're going to actually want, this is our collection template cafes. So we're going to actually want to do a modification of that product loop, right? Cafe or cafe. Hi guys, so we just did the we created a product loop cafes. So what we then did was we're going to have to take our product loop and we're going to have to make a copy of that so that we can make a new file called product loop cafe. So basically you're going to copy all of this, go to your snippets here, add a new snippet. I've already done this. So now we've got this product loop cafes, which is, you know, unedited at this point. So we would hope that that pricing information, everything was in the product, this template. It is not. This is quite a complicated little template. They've Turbo, the out of the sandbox guys, have really subdivided it. So then we've got we can see we've got this include product thumbnail. So we're going to have to go and make a specialized version of that for this template. So we're going to use product thumbnail cafes. We're going to save that. So let's have a look at our product thumbnails. Have I got that open here yet? Yes, I do. There you go. So let's copy all of that. Copy. Let's create a new snippet. Product thumbnails. Is it nails or nail? I don't think it's nail. Cafes. Create the product thumbnail cafes. Okay, And we're going to paste all of that product thumbnail in there that we just copied. Now, we would love to say that that was it, but again, the Out of Sandbox guys have, it's actually in this product info file is where we actually want to get to impact that stuff. So let's call it product info cafe. So we're basically going down a chain here of we're creating specific cafe files in order to get to that pricing information. It's a little bit more complicated than I'd hoped. But let's copy, and we don't want to do that. We want to save that, sorry. We've already got that. So it's this product info. We want to make a cafe's version of it. I've got product info open here. So let's just copy that. Add a new snippet. Product info cafes. Create snippet. Paste. And here you can, so this is the new version of this. And here you can see here. Before we change this, let's just test it. Make sure I haven't sort of broken anything along the way. So this should not be any different at this point. It should behave the same way as before. You hover over it, the pricing exists. The pricing is what we do not want on this. So let's go here, sorry, and let's just delete this line here. Oops. Let's just delete that line because that's where it was the free text. Click save and see what that does. I'm hoping that's going to get rid of it. It did not. Interesting. Okay, let's troubleshoot that. Model price collections coming soon. If content coming soon. Else. I actually don't want any of this. Is all price information. There is a general price varies and product is greater than 0. If price is less than 0, then money greater than 0, then money else it should be free. Did I say that? I did. Let's just make sure it's properly refreshed. Let's just open, I just want to open this up on another browser to make sure that I'm not caching it, because I'm pretty confident that this should be working. What are we? What's the domain name here? Oh, I'm at preview mode. Let's just get rid of that here. Get rid of that out of preview mode completely, and let's just try it in a live version. Just Green Beans Cafe. It's still there. Let's load that up in another browser just to make sure it's not. Nope, it's still there. Okay, let's go back and troubleshoot it. So we think we've got it out of there. That's where I think it's picking it up. It's clearly not picking it up from there. So if it's not in liquid, let's go back to the thumbnail here. We're still, that's the original thumbnail. Let's go back to our cafe's thumbnail. Maybe it's in product details here instead, because there's one or the other. Let's have a look what product details says. Product details, general sale, product sales, quick shop button. Product details is pulling us back to product info here. So let's go back to product thumbnails cafe. Let's do product details cafe. Save. And then we need to do this product details. Let's copy all of this. Let's create a new snippet called product details cafes. Create snippet. Paste that. And let's have a look. Now let's change all these product info to cafes because we've already written that file. cafes, and let's save that. And let's have a look whether that fixes our problem. Oh, well, it definitely got there, but it thinks there's not a product details cafe.liquid there. So we got something wrong, but it's definitely trying to read it. So that's a good sign. Product details, cafes, plural. Let's go back to our product thumbnail, cafes, product details, cafes. There you go, pluralize it. That should get us to at least a function. We know it's reading that file, which is a good sign. And there you go. The free has gone because we've already fixed it in the product loop. Now, this particular theme has been modularized, so there's lots of sub files and sections being pulled that you have got to backtrack all the way through it. A simpler theme, especially some of the free themes, all of that stuff's going to be in one file, much easier than this. So, you just have to backtrack through those liquid files and templates in order to try and work out where the piece of code that you want to fix is located. And sometimes that means including sections that include sections that include sections and making your own copies of all of those things. Okay, so there's a directory. Hope that was super useful. One last thing before we go. If you don't want these things to appear in the search, I recommend an app called Live Search where you can actually exclude certain product objects, in this case the directory listings, from the search completely in that app by just adding another tab. The default tag is hidden products. Okay, so look for the Live Search app in the Shopify App Store, and that will fix the fact that these are showing up in your search as if they're normal products. You can easily exclude them. Okay, hope that was useful. Hope it wasn't too super complicated, and you got the gist of it. And remember, subscribe to the channel, like the videos. Talk to you in the next session.